that keeps you going. That's what you're in it for. Hello everybody, Drew here. Tip of the Mitt flips, where every 100 subscribers there is a giveaway. So make sure if you're watching that you are subscribed so you have a chance to win. If you notice, I am back on my phone because I'm a dummy. There was a garage sale this morning, so I took the GoPro with me and I tested it out and it went all right. That probably won't be in this video, probably be in a separate video. But I didn't come home and charge the battery. I got all my batteries in yesterday, but I, for some reason, didn't decide to plug those in or something. I don't know. It was a surprise garage sale, so I didn't expect to have a garage sale. Either way, back on the phone for one day. Got 5 orders going out. First one up is really cool. This is something I played with a lot as a kid, but I never actually played with it. That doesn't really make sense saying it that way. But what I mean, get the dust off it, is that I never actually used it the way you were supposed to. And here, let me show you. It's this. All right. It is this Hocus Pocus Magic Show set. It's got just a bunch of different magic things in it. And the reason I say I would play with it, but I didn't actually play with it, is because I never learned how to do the tricks. I would just like pretend I knew how to do magic instead of like just reading the book and learning how to do magic. I thought I was just gonna magically be magical. You know, kids are weird. But that's going international, and that was let's see, $20 plus shipping on that one, $19.99 plus shipping. Future Drew here. I was just finishing up packing and cleaning up, and then I had a thought that I figured I'd share. This right here is how I ended up packaging up that game, which you go, oh, that's excessive. That's a $1.25 box. It's a lot bigger than the package needs to be, and you'd be correct on both of those things. But here is the deal with that. That is going international. I don't know where. When you ship through a global shipping program, you can get a clue by their name sometimes, but I mean, how good of a clue is that? You'd have to be pretty well knowledgeable in names and their origins and hope that person lives in that area. But the point is, I went a little above and beyond right there because of a message I got a couple days ago, which, let's see, yesterday even I got it. If you remember, a few videos ago, I had sold some vintage models, some car models, and they were already partially done. You know, they weren't perfect, but they had some okay value, like 40, 50 bucks, something like that. And a buyer on one of them specifically reached out to me and said, hey, does it have this specific part? Because I've already bought this model and it didn't come with that part, or that part was broken. So I went in there and I was like, I sent him a picture because I was like, I don't know, but I think this is the one you're talking about. If it is, then it's there. If not, I can't help you. So they went ahead and bought it. I packaged it up very well. I bubble wrapped inside the box. I bubble wrapped outside the box. I put some padding around it because it's a fragile item and it's going however far it's going. It's got to get into a shipping container or a plane and make it somewhere. And the reason I do that on specifically vintage items, go that little extra mile, even on this thing, that was a $20 sale, and I spent an extra 5 minutes and spent an extra $1.50 in packing material and spent an extra $1.70 or something and ended up being in shipping. I paid more than I needed to. I could have taken 4 priority boxes and made a Franken box, and I could have done no padding. It's a pretty rigid box. It would have been probably fine. But the reason is because I got this message. Hi, mate, which I don't know why, but I got a kick out of that. I was like, hey, call me mate. Cool. Hi, mate. Kit arrived today. I'm really pleased. Was perfect condition, as described, and packed to survive anything. Packed to survive anything. So glad I can finish the other model. So as not to waste this one, though, I'm planning to build a gasser out of the kit to save it being used for parts. If I get it done, I'll send you some pics. Have put good feedback for you. Thanks again. Regards, Mick. All right, so Mick said mate. So immediately my mind goes to that, went to Australia because, you know, Crocodile Dundee. His name's Mick. He was in Australia. But either way, that is one of like the, like, I don't know if it's every reseller, but I've heard most resellers say it. That, like, that's the joy right there. You're connecting a person with a thing they didn't have available to them, but they wanted. And I don't mean like a pot or a pan. Like, yeah, they're still happy. Oh, I want that thing. I go on, I eat. But that's like going on Amazon, being like, yeah, I need a new whatever. I need a new tape measure. Ooh, I go to Amazon. I'm not like super pumped that it got to me. Like, that's whatever. But if you order something that's vintage or antique or a collectible, like there's a human connection to that object. And I'm not saying this is going to happen often for resellers. Like, it is rare that you will find out about that connection. But when it does, that's just, it feels good. It feels good. Like you did a service. Of course, I'm not like oblivious to the fact that I'm profiting. Like, I did it to make money. I didn't sell it to make this guy feel good. But it does feel good to get something to someone that they couldn't get, and they like, there wasn't a lot of those for sale. So, we haggled over the price a little bit, and I went the extra mile to like look for that piece for them, all those kinds of things. And those are the things that on the days when you've had 2 returns for some baloney reason, or you've had 17 questions about a $5 item that you don't even want to answer any of the questions about, that keeps you going. That's what you're in it for. That really warms the heart. Now, so if you do order something from a reseller and it's a vintage item or rare or something like that, maybe send them a message. Maybe shoot them a little thing. You don't really realize how much that might actually mean to that person. Next up in the old inventory system, Cades Cove Collectibles. Some alliteration there. It is this sugar container, and it's in the old inventory system, so I probably made a mistake and moved everything around. And actually, I think let me double check on that. Okay, I didn't have the creamer with it, so it's a sugar dish and a cup. So, and a Cades Cove cup right there. Got $9.99 plus shipping for those. Next up, I took an offer, $1 off. Either way, still okay. $17.99. Not in an inventory system because it's cool, so I put it on display. It is this King Kong NECA figure. Got that retail arbitrage from Walmart for $11 plus tax, of course, because I live in a place with sales tax. And that sold for $17.99 plus shipping. Not a ton of money, but it's one of those things where I'm shopping anyways. I would like to pay for the things that I bought while I'm shopping. So you pick up a couple things, you make a few bucks, then the thing you buy is free. At least that's the way I like to look at it. Then we got a vintage 1801 Revereware 3-quart on C4, ABC4. That is this big guy right here. Revereware. Definitely always look out for it. You can see it's pretty wore out there. That's, copper. It's a soft metal. It'll eventually wear out. But Revereware is going great for me. That's something I wish I would have known about like 2 years ago, because at least where I live, it's a very popular thing to find. So I don't know if I'm just the only buyer out there picking it up, or if there's just a lot of it in my area, which that's what it is. I live in northern Michigan, which they call the Midwest technically, because it's like East Coast, then Midwest, then West Coast. I don't know how that's not central, but whatever. But in the Midwest, which apparently that's what I am, I guess. I don't know. Northern Michigan, certain things like your Corningware, your Pyrex, your Revereware, your Middle America cooking stuff, that kind of thing is popular in my area. Your like vintage clothes, your high-end shoes. Never. You're not finding that. That's not a thing you're gonna find here. $20 plus shipping for that. And then last up today for Pyrex, blah blah blah. I can't remember what number it was, but they're like ice cream sundae dishes. Let me not drop them, but those right there, pretty cool. I don't know anything you'd put in there besides a banana split. Those scream banana split to me. I don't know what anybody else would put in that. $12.59 plus shipping for that, and those are number 328s. It says it's a baking dish, but come on, that's for banana splits. That's like a prime banana split. That's like, I want a banana split now, which it is Friday and it is my pick, so I could make banana splits happen today. That could be a thing. We've had root beer floats the last 2 nights though, because it was report card season and both kids did awesome. So pumped. Both kids really picked it up, really did a good job. So we had root beer floats 2 nights in a row, plus a little money. You know, they're kids. You can throw $1 at them. They're still at that good age where you throw $1 at them and they think it's the greatest thing ever, and then they lose the $1 before the end of the day. But either way, it's a bargain. It's a bargain at that price. But yeah, speaking of like paying for things while you're out, and speaking of the children, went to get. The girl needed pants. She was down to like 1 pair of pants. She's a rough and tumble. All her pants have holes in them. Once they got a little hole, she picks at it. It's a big hole, whatever. So we went to Salvation Army, and again, I'm like, pick out whatever ones you want, try them on, whatever, as many as you want. I don't care. And I'm gonna look around, see if I can find enough stuff to pay for the item. So our total bill was like $25 or $26. I got 3 items. I got these, which are Pyrex dishes. I got this, which is a Revereware pan, and I got this, which is a die-cast Porsche 911, and I'm going to profit $25. So pay for all the jeans, pay for all the things, and make an additional $25. So even people that don't resell, it's still something you should think about. Like if you want to just pay for things that you're buying, maybe while you're there, get some things, list them, eventually you'll pay for it. I know it's not as easy as it sounds because, you know, you got to know what you're doing, you got to know what you're looking for, all that kind of stuff, but just food for thought. I don't know how many people watch that aren't resellers, but just something to think about. I did, if you watched in the last video or 2 videos ago, I don't keep track of those things. I had picked up 2 Xboxes, a 360 and an Xbox One, and from the ad, it sounded like they didn't work, which I didn't test them until I did stuff to them. I've done that before, and it bit me in the butt, because you just got something gunked up in there, or you go to turn it on, or go to put something in. You can mess it up worse if there's just something that was going to be simple to start with. Of course, you don't want to waste a bunch of time on a broken item, so usually I'll plug it in for power sometimes, but clean a little bit or do something a little bit, check it a little bit, open it at least, look at it, make sure there wasn't like like what I think these were, like a pop exploded on them or something like that. But I went through, I haven't got a chance for the Xbox One yet, but the 360, I tested, I added a game, I added an HDMI cord, and that thing is perfect. Works great. It was gross. It took me about an hour to clean it and test it. Paid $30 for all of it, and the unit is listed for 100 plus shipping. And then there was a 250 gigabyte hard drive, which that's what I thought was going to be wrong with it, that the hard drive was corrupted and that it was making the unit not work. So I pulled that out, tested it, we're fine. So then I was like, oh, let me test the hard drive. I put the hard drive in. Hard drive also worked fine. So it was just dirty, because that's what will happen. You overheat it. The fan will get gummed up, so cleaned it out. And so the hard drive, that's also $30 free shipping. It'll cost about $5. It'll go first class. So overall, I'm already far into the profit with that. And even if I don't test the Xbox One, I think you still get about $50 for it. I'll have to double check, but hopefully it just works. That'd be great. And then last thing before I go, I don't know if anybody else has this problem. I struggle with when I have a lot of things to do, or a perceived lot of things to do. I end up doing none of them. It feels like it snowballs, and then you're like, oh my God, I got to do this thing. You're trying to do all of them at once, and it It just, of course, is not going to work out. You can't accomplish all the things at one time. So starting Monday, I got a few ideas. I'll hammer out over the weekend and figure out what I'm going to do of how to really, you know, I don't know. I gotta just be more specific with what I'm doing and when I'm doing it. Like when I go sourcing, when I'm listing, when I'm recording, when I'm editing video, all those things. I think I just need to figure out when is the best time to be doing all of them and then implement that and then maybe adjust it as it goes. But I got to figure that out. And that's my plan for the weekend. Got a lot of stuff going on this weekend though, so that also doesn't help. The baby turned 1 last week, so we're doing a birthday party this weekend. Only a couple people, family and stuff. Of course, my girlfriend wants to do all the things, but I'm like, she's 1. Nobody remembers her first birthday. If it took no pictures, it just wouldn't exist. But of course, you can't do that. It's for the baby. No, it's not. It's not for the baby. So that's coming up this weekend. It is Friday, and like I said, my pick this week, and pizza. I mean, I used to eat pizza 1 to 2 times a day, every day, from the time I was, I don't know, in middle school. So like 12 years old, I ate pizza every day, and you know, that's fine until you're 35 and you get fat. So I don't eat pizza every day anymore. So Fridays for the rest of my picks forever will be pizza. That's just what I'm gonna do. I mean, if that's the only pizza I get, that's what I gotta do. And then I think I'm gonna go with Family Matters again. The kids have really been liking it. Like just a wholesome 90s family sitcom. Like we watched 2 or 3 episodes and the kids have been enjoying it. The corny jokes are so terrible. I more like to laugh at, you know, just watching things from the 90s, you know, just looking back on stuff. And then oddly enough, I know I'm going on and on about Family Matters, but oddly enough, Steve Urkel's not in the first like 10 episodes. He's in like 30 seconds of like the 4th episode, and he's just not in a bunch of them. So I started it thinking they would, you know, think Steve Urkel was funny, and they've actually just really fallen in love with the show without him in it. So whatever, you know, I don't get to pick things for me just yet. I've come to that conclusion where when it's my pick, I'm just trying to pick something that will be educational, or the kids will enjoy, or I just won't have to hear whining about, or the boy won't fall asleep during, because that's also an issue. He has trouble making it past 9 o'clock. But I am going to do a haul video that won't be in this video. I got to make sure I separate stuff just for editing time and stuff. So I'm going to do a haul video. I'll probably mix it in with going to the garage sale this morning. Spoiler, wasn't awesome. I didn't expect it to be, but whatever. It was still nice to get out. So that'll be in the next video. That's all for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. Subscribe, share, and be good to each other.